Hello and welcome to episode 6 of my offlane series. Today I'm going to be talking about a very important concept, something that's going to win you a lot of games and lose you a lot of games. It's called creep aggro. Now, in this case, I'm playing on my Smurf, which is Divine something, like Divine 2. Doesn't really matter, it's like 5k. Um, I see that I'm playing against Monkey King, safe lane, and I'm playing Doom. Now, this is a very difficult matchup. I have one armor, I don't really have any good spells to fight him with, and I also have a Clockwork, who's also not a very good pos 4 to help me. So I've started boots. This is something that you shouldn't be afraid of when you play offlane. Sometimes you can just start boots. As soon as the lane starts, I'm making sure that I play defensive. I don't want to give him Jingu mastery, obviously. I see that he's top. I see that he gets a kill. Now, as soon as he gets this kill, I run to here as Doom, and immediately I eat this range creep. Eating this range creep puts on cooldown faster than eating it here, and it means that the Monkey King won't be able to zone me off the range creep. Now, let me put it on player perspective now. So you see this lane is very difficult. They have a lich who slows me and a guy who jingles me. So as soon as the lane starts, I click the lich and I aggro these creeps off. Then I do it again and I aggro these creeps again, and then I click them halfway between the attack and the aggro. In this case, I've messed it up a little bit, so I only get one creep, but usually you can get all three or two creeps. As soon as I take the creep, I drag it around a little bit, right? I buy more stats, I think it was, or more regen. And even though now I'm aggroing it a little bit more, just so the creep survives a little bit longer and the equilibrium meets a little bit closer to me. In this case, he's also tanking the creeps, which doesn't help me. But in this case, I have a double wave now against Monkey, so you can't trade into me as effectively. So creep aggroing is always going to help you lane in one way or another. In this case, I don't want to walk up, so I just aggro the creeps back to last hit them. And it puts the range creep into deny range. And now he has to choose between denying this or not getting denied here, and he kind of panics and he misses everything. I aggro a creep off so that the lich isn't as so it's not as easy for him to deny because it's a little bit further away from him. Now they run at me a little bit here. They don't get the jingle on me because I'm just aggroing back. Here we pull, I think. I can't remember what happens actually. I aggro back again. Just constantly aggroing back, making the lane hard for them. See, they're getting a lot of free denies, but I'm also getting a lot of these like free last hits. I get another aggro onto my ranged. I force him to use his Q. Um, you can see that I put the lane in a pretty decent position now. It's pretty much in front of our tower. And overall, I'm just having quite a good time here, right? So they get the pull. Now I'm running at him with my W. And here I make a really good play. I press glyph when he presses Q so he doesn't lifesteal. And now he's fucking dead. Um, so pretty much that's all you have to know about aggro in terms of the in-game example. It's hard to show you too many examples of like how to aggro well, but we can head into demo mode for something like this. So the first thing is you have to understand what aggro is. It's basically creeps in Dota, they'll fight you. If you click an enemy hero, they'll chase you for a little bit, right? As long as they have vision on you. So usually in lane, let's say that you are playing against some kind of hero, right? Flowbot, okay, for this example. You click on him and you run back and they aggro on you. So in this case, he lost aggro on me because the creeps don't have vision. So that's something that's very important. The creeps have to have vision on you. It's less of a problem in side lanes. So you can always aggro melee creeps onto your range creep to put into deny range, and you can always aggro away from the ranged heroes to make it easier to last hit. One other important thing that you can do with aggro is that when creeps are fighting you, you can click on them to make them fuck off, essentially. You click an ally creep, and it's the same with towers. Hopefully everyone should know this, but that's how you reset the aggro, essentially, of creeps and towers. So one thing is that's quite useful is that when the enemy team is going for last hits while the creeps are fighting, so like in this case, right, a lot of carry players, they'll get ready to click this as the creep clicks it. So when it's kind of one hit off, you aggro it off, and then they make like an accidental misclick like this, and you get a denied like that. It's something that takes a little bit of practice to do, but once you're comfortable with it, it's very easy to do as well. So let me see if I can find another case. The thing about these situation is usually I'll look through my replays to try and find like a good example of the thing happening. But for something like aggro, it's so sort of like um how do you say it, like universal, that I can just click on pretty much any game and I can pretty much assume that I'll be doing it. So let's just have a look in this game, right? In this game, I am playing Tusk offlane against CK Carry, I believe. So let's just have a look. The lane starts, right? I do my classic build. We do a little bit of aggression before the horn. So the lane starts. You can see that I'm blocking side to side. I'll cover that in the next video, I guess. Um, as soon as the lane starts, I'm going to be clicking the CK and I'm going to be dragging the 3 melee creeps onto the range creep. Now, what I do next is I click the CK again, and then as they are fighting, right, I'm going to aggro all the creeps off. So that in this case, I'm dragging the 3 melees with me. Now, he's a good player, obviously. 7k plus, right? He's going to be taking the creeps with me. But if he's a worse player, he just goes under his tower and he last hits these 3 creeps. And then what I'll do next with these 3 creeps is that I'll aggro them onto the range creep and we get free deny. In this case, he comes to fight us, but this is still decent because now we're fighting near our tower, we're getting the extra regen or whatever, and he's not really last hitting back here. Like, let me see if I can show you. Back here, you see the 3 creeps just died and the CK is on 1 last hit. So he's making a choice. I won't say if it's a good one or not, but it's certainly some kind of choice. So right now he's aggroing the creeps. Whenever the enemy team aggroes the creeps, I recommend you go aggressive on them because they're going to have creeps fighting them. It's hard for them to fight back. You can see that he takes a lot of damage. The only problem is now I'm missing a little bit of last hits, but I see that he's so low on regen, he has no salve. I really wanted to kill him in that case. So right now, again, we kill this, right? I'm just going to keep aggroing back, aggro back, aggro back, click, right? I aggro onto this one. You see, I managed to drag the creeps with me. If you attack while the creeps are aggroed on you, they'll keep following you. If you don't attack, they'll run back to fight the other creeps. In this case, we get pull off, so I'm going to aggro the creeps into here. Even now, right, I'm just getting 3 last hits. I'm perfectly happy. Let's just have a look at my perspective, I guess, for now. And now I'm like, I'm having a very good lane, essentially. But without creep aggro, it would be fucking garbage. Now he goes to pull on the Phoenix, so we try to do a little bit of an aggressive move. We don't end up getting anything done. Do a little bit of damage, I guess. Again, I'm just aggroing back to give myself 3 last hits, and I get a TP out. Run back to lane. Go aggressive on the CK again. Kill the CK. And now the lane is here. That's pretty much all there is to aggro control. You want to aggro the creeps back onto your range creep so that it puts a deny threat. You want to aggro it back to avoid harass. You can hit them during the aggro in order to drag the creeps where you want them to go. Aggro range is also global, so if you can't see the enemy heroes, you can mouse over mid lane and click on an enemy mid laner to aggro. There's a small cooldown on aggro. You can't aggro more than, I think it's like 4-second cooldown. So if you fuck up once, just wait a second. Don't let the creeps just attack you for free. Just wait a second and then try again. The other thing about aggro is that you can aggro neutral creeps as well. So if you want to disrupt a pull, that's something you can do. You just click them while the enemy support is trying to pull, and that'll drag the creeps off in that case. If you want to watch someone who's really, really good at aggro control, watch Ice Ice Ice. Whenever he plays, it's almost like he can control where the neutral creeps are going. But it's just something that takes a lot of practice. But once you become good at it, that's how you'll feel as well. Like you can move the creeps exactly where you want them to go, and that's something that's very useful to do.